Over the past few years, the idea of machine learning has become something we hear a lot about, and frankly, it's all over the place in our day-to-day lives. Whether we're using virtual personal assistants like Google Home, looking at our phone for traffic predictions, getting the people you may know alerts from Facebook, or just doing a Google search, the ML experience is becoming more common for everyone. But for something that's already ingrained in our lives, what do we really know about it? Are you making the rules for the machine, or is your data learning the rules for you? Can we actually see machine learning working somewhere? And what the heck does that even look like? I'm Austin from the Botkeeper team, and today we're going to dive into the concept of machine learning and how we're leveraging it for bookkeeping automation here at Botkeeper. Along the way, we'll get to see just how powerful machine learning can be at deriving meaning from millions of data points and yielding valuable insights. We see machine learning all around us in the products we use today. However, it isn't always apparent that machine learning is behind it all. Generally, ML can be a pretty staggering concept for most folks, but those working within the tech space are getting a first-hand experience as to just how vital it is. Without machine learning, there's a lot that wouldn't be possible, such as face recognition, email spam filtering, cybersecurity, social media experiences, and more. And this is only demonstrating a few of its capabilities. Realistically, the value of machine learning is just beginning to manifest itself, and this will only continue to grow over the years to come. So let's take a look at the accounting landscape and where machine learning factors in. Traditionally, humans have been the keepers of data. Using the accounting industry as an example, bookkeepers and accountants would typically do a lot of manual entry and processing. A business would generate hundreds to thousands of financial transactions through the natural course of growth. The bookkeeper was responsible for capturing all of those transactions, ensuring they're complete, and correctly coding them within the general ledger. Then, the accountant would leverage that data to advise the business owner, do the tax preparation, and guide their operations, which was, of course, totally reliant on those clean and correct books. So let's take a second to break that process down and look at just one example of where automation can exist for your firm. The bookkeeper would first need to pull up their client credentials to access their accounts, log into their client's bank accounts and pull relevant statements, and then categorize the hundreds of lines of data into the GL. To quantify this a bit, we know that getting to those statements can take around 3 to 5 minutes per client, and it can take anywhere from 1 to 3 minutes to categorize just one transaction. And when you have a few clients, you can do this by hand. Once a month, per client, you'll log into their general ledger, look through each account and the transactions that have been coded for it. If something doesn't pass the sniff test, you investigate it, maybe by asking the business owner, researching how a transaction was treated in the past, for example. But wait a second, that's not all of it. Realistically, we can assume that each client has anywhere from 4 to 10 bank and credit card accounts, which means we could be spending around 20 to 50 minutes per client on logging into their accounts alone. And of course, most firms don't just have a handful of clients, they have dozens or hundreds or more. That means a firm with 30 clients could be losing 10 to 25 hours on grabbing statements. A firm with 100 clients could be losing 33 to 83 hours. From there, we'd add 1 to 3 minutes per transaction. That's a lot of minutes. And this is before doing a final review for accuracy or making potential adjustments needed by the client. Lastly, we need to take the basic real-life considerations into play, like the fact that humans don't work 24 hours per day. They get tired, they make mistakes, and can forget things. And although there are some tools and integrations out there aiming to help with these steps, they're typically not very accurate, or they're built on basic rules that need to be manually updated over time. These scenarios are certainly not ideal and can end up resulting in more time being put toward fixing mistakes or worse, cause client disruption. Ouch. So how are firms getting by today? It turns out that a lot of firms find themselves stuck between doing a watered-down version of the categorizations process, risking the overall quality of the books, or they're forced to start throwing even more expensive manpower at it. And as important as the process is, categorizing is only one piece to getting the bookkeeping done. There's still plenty more to do until you're able to close the books and properly leverage that data to advise your business client. Ultimately, what we realize is that, at a certain scale, a task taking even 5 minutes per client just won't be sustainable. So, to address the challenge of the volume of data in bookkeeping that goes beyond the ability for humans to easily process and make sense of with manual steps, Botkeeper built technology that can work with the data at scale and even adapt to a changing landscape. To learn more about Botkeeper, visit botkeeper.com.